Hello, friends, 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 friends. Hello, Crystal. Sarah is joining shortly.
Hello.
Now we got the tunes in here.
Yes, we do. This is a
There we
bit
go.
different. Hey, Crystal. Happy belated birthday.
Birthday fun.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I put some Brazilian radio on, so get
You said
cultured.
some Brazilian radio? Brazilian radio?
Yeah,
I don't know why I can't speak.
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
I'm going to share it with some friends. That's okay.
I like this. Hope you guys have a little beverage.
Yes, ma'am. I got my beverage.
Have a little.
Set you
I
up.
don't have tea today, but I have coconut water.
Coconut water.
Good old coconut water. What you got?
You already know. I got some water.
Some water.
Plain tricks. Yeah, water today. I don't need a hot beverage.
It's all good. It's probably not too cold there.
It's kind of fall weather. Yesterday was nice and chilly, so I had my sweater on. I haven't left the house today. Just been cleaning and self-care Sundaying. But
Yeah.
yeah, how about you? How's your Sunday going?
My Sunday's going pretty good. It was raining really hard this morning.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, it was like coming down really hard. But the sun is out now, so it's nice. Can't complain.
That is good. Yeah, it rained a little bit, but we're all good now. But
That's good. I hope it doesn't, I didn't check the weather, but I hope it doesn't rain too much throughout the week.
Yeah, man. Cute. Cute, cute.
Yep, just gonna give it maybe 2 more minutes. I was working so hard on my character.
Darla. How's Darla doing? Your daughter. Cute. Cute.
Yeah. I can't imagine I wonder if pets are I wonder if they like the rain. Is that a thing?
I know cats really don't like water.
Water.
Maybe not them, but definitely feel like maybe dogs.
I feel like dogs
They
are
like jump into puddles and stuff like that.
they remind me of little boys, how they're just like just, you know,
Little
themselves.
boys.
Just like to get messy, like to be dirty, all those things.
Dog.
That was probably not nice. Well,
What do you think? You want to
I
get
think we
into?
can, yeah, I think we can get started and just let people trickle in.
Yes.
Hello, friends. Hello, people of
Hey.
the world. I'm Jazz.
I'm Sarah.
And this is our Sunday Talk series, Let's Unpack. We're here with Disney Connections.
Yes, and we're here to talk about creativity, life, and inspiration.
Oh, yes, all the good things to come. We just want to let you guys know again that this is a safe community space for our audience. We want that to be reflected in the comments and our guests and our topics, and share that with us.
Yes, and grab your tea and chill out and relax with us. We are going to get into it. So, yeah, welcome everybody who's trickling in too as well. We did unpack a little bit about our week. Kind of rainy, kind of good, kind of everything in the middle.
Yeah. It's been a week. I've got to say, I'm actually really excited. Half excited, half not excited. We're going into election week. And luckily, election day, I have off. So I cannot wait. I need the rest. I need to sleep. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
I've not washed my hair.
You've been super busy. I feel like we've had meetings on meetings, but you have multiple other meetings. So you definitely deserve the, well-deserved day off. So yeah, take use of it. Lock your door if you need to. Put the music on high.
Yeah. Is there anything you're looking forward to in the new week?
Ooh, I'm definitely, so this weekend I took a lot of time to like clean my space and just like refresh. So I feel like I really set myself up for a really good week. I don't know what this week is gonna hold besides, the scheduled meetings and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just excited to have a good week. I'm gonna cook a little bit before this, so do a little bit of meal prepping and.
Yeah, that's so smart. And I actually feel bad because I think my mom's been a little bit stressed because she normally does all the cooking and I've not been as helpful as I can with the cooking. But I should get some meal prepping.
Maya says, how does this year's election make you feel? I'm not American, but I've been paying a lot of attention to it. Ooh, Lord. How does it make us feel?
It makes me feel stressed.
Yes. It makes me a bit worried because I had a lot of the faith of the American people, and myself, I'm not an American citizen, but I've lived here since I was 5. And, first time around, I was like, there's no way that the American people could elect this guy as the president. Man. But here we are 4 years later, and we yet persist. We do, in fact.
Literally, I told like some of my friends this, but I was like driving with my family home, and there was like this whole like parade of cars with like their American flags and their Trump flags, and it was literally like 50 cars, and I just was like, oh, like I don't know, like it's just kind of like I don't know, like that. It felt a little disturbing to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very disturbing to me. Another thing, like it is a little bit good news. My parents, normally they've been absentee ballot voting, like actually their entire life because they've been in the military and they're residents of New York, but they've just moved around all the time. So this was their first year voting in like
in the state
like
that they're
life.
Living in.
Yeah, like it's their first time voting not in New York. And then it's their first time going to the polls because they've never been to the polls. They've always, like, they joined the military very young, so they've always been sending in that ballot. But this is my first year absentee ballot voting, so new things.
All new things. That's amazing. I can't wait to become an American citizen so I can use my right to vote. Yeah, this is just not right. I feel like I've been here for way too long to not have a say in who's coming up next. But yeah. Good luck to everybody. Definitely get out there and hit those polls or absentee ballot. I hope everybody had the chance to do that or, register, all that jazz.
Yeah, it's coming up, and it'll be a week, but as Sarah said, we'll get through. We always do. We'll get through. Yes.
Yeah.
But we have such an exciting topic to talk about. Sarah, do you want to kick us off? You put me onto this like awesome podcast, and I've already heard about the book, but the podcast is like amazing.
For sure. So I'm definitely like a podcast junkie, and I feel like everybody should be too. If that's the kind of way you like to learn or just get information, I like it. So the podcast is called Unlocking Us by Brené Brown. Brené Brown is actually a motivational speaker and also a leadership researcher. So it's really interesting that she started this podcast, and she has another one as well. But this one in specific, I brought to Jazz, and she had two star guests that came in, Emily and Amelia Nagowski. They're one of them is a researcher, another one is a choir director.
Choral director, yeah.
Choral director. But they wrote a book together called Burnout. And then come to find out, Jazz had already read it. So you're like, boom, perfect idea to discuss this right here. So Burnout. Jazz, you want to go
Yeah,
deep into what Burnout is, the book?
of course. Yes. Like burnout is such a real thing. And then like specifically how we can like use all of these really good gems to apply to like community wellness and like specifically is like we're so excited. But when it comes to burnout, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard of burnout, they've experienced burnout. There are three main components to burnout. The first one is a decreased sense of accomplishment. It's basically when you feel a sense of futility, all the things that you're doing, nothing is working, nothing you're doing is making a difference.
Mm.
The second one is emotional exhaustion. And that is the fatigue that you get from carrying around too many things for way too long.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one, excuse me, is depersonalization. And that basically is a depletion of empathy and compassion, all of these like characteristics that you have to like give to others and be kind to others, you no longer have that. And a lot of that has to do with this thing called the stress release cycle, or the overall stress release cycle. And when you're kind of going through those tunnels, a lot of the time you can get stuck because your emotions are a tunnel, and if you're not completing the cycle, if you're not going through the tunnel, then you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna experience that emotional exhaustion. You're gonna experience those feelings of depersonalization and lack of accomplishment, or you're gonna get stressed from consistently putting yourself in those situations, and the fact that that's where that futility, that's where that sense of nothing I'm doing is gonna make a difference comes in.
Like feeling hopeless in a sense. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those are concepts that I think like they make sense, but you may not necessarily think like this is like the life that I'm living. This is like what I'm going through every
Absolutely.
day.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I I think for people who are like really busy in life or, trying to start up something, they're on this kind of pattern of just go, 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 and then don't even realize that they're actually quite stressed and need to take a step back and figure out, what in the world is going on and how to move forward. But yeah, so burnout is actually focusing on especially like your emotions here, and a lot of people don't even keep an account of how they're feeling and how to actually move through those emotions,
Yeah.
like you said. I like the analogy of the tunnel. Like if we're in the beginning stages and we're like super excited, oh, like yeah, there's a tunnel coming up, we're about to go through it and then make it on the other end. But some people get stuck in that tunnel or, in that darkness because they've been so stressed, so burnt out. But it's really moving through that and getting into the outside of the tunnel, which is the hard part.
Yeah.
But there are ways to go through the tunnel, like you said, um, the stress release cycle. So, how that, I guess, how to get through the tunnel, there's some tools. It's
Hmm.
either exercising, um, laughter, just having a good time and just expressing, a fun emotion with friends, affection with a loved one or your dog. It doesn't have to always be a human being. Um, Crying, sometimes you just really got to let it out and cry and release and have a breath. And creative expression. So that's definitely important. We have big stake in that because, and it's something a little bit even new. More researchers are sharing that creative expression is a way to get out of a stress release or get out of your stress or get out of feeling burnt out is expressing yourself, expressing that kind of emotion of, creativity and
Yeah,
good.
literally getting that energy out of you. Like,
Exactly.
I think that was something they really brought up, that idea of putting that energy outside of yourself into something else, into your artwork, your creative expression is like such a healthy way to process.
Yeah, because it's really like you feel a sense of accomplishment when you create something. Like for me, like when I'm taking photographs, like it's not even the idea that, oh my God, like I'm about to get the best photo in the world today, but it's just like doing something that I truly love, and I just feel like a sense of like freedom, and that's what I always look for. Like I feel like free, and it feels good.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
I'm curious, so kind of going back to our idea of the tunnel and our idea of, or the idea of the stress release cycle, what have been times that you felt really like stuck, or like you felt like you're stuck in the tunnel, you're not moving through this emotion, you're not moving through this tunnel, or
Yeah.
times that you felt like you're constantly being exposed to something that is like making you
Bad
stressed?
emotions. Oof. It's right now. I'm not gonna lie. It is right at this not moment, but time in life. I guess season in life. Um, Being at my 9 to 5 job, it really isn't 9 to 5. It's more like a 7 to 6 p.m. job. But it's maybe it's not the job itself. Maybe it's the people, and that is an environment thing where it's the stressor, not the actual stress itself, which we should actually discuss further there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because there's a separation between that, between what
for
is causing
sure.
you stress, or the stressor is what's causing you stress, and then the emotion within you,
Yeah,
the energy, the stress inside of you.
yeah, exactly. I guess this is a good example because let's say the environment I'm in at work is in manufacturing and not really a creative space to be in for most of my days. So that's an environment thing. I don't enjoy um, I guess, that kind of environment, but the actual stressor, that is the actual stressor. But the stress is kind of the something that I inflict on myself almost, is like feeling that I'm not adequate enough, or feeling that I don't belong, or feeling that I could be somewhere else right now, or I'm not in the right place, mindset, all that kind of things are the actual
Mm.
stress there. But the outside external is um, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, I guess.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's not a forever thing. It's definitely I'm in the tunnel right now, but I see the light. I'm moving towards the light, and that is okay.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be like a straight path for sure, but I think I'll get there. I don't know, but like, how about you? Do you ever feel like you've had one of those moments?
Yeah, I think also because I'm an overthinker. So I think first off, the whole concept of stress and the stressor, I think like it doesn't really like make sense to you until you think about it in that way. But like that was a very like real thing for me. But then also I tend to deal with like really anxious feelings sometimes, and like I be dealing with depression a lot. And so I know what it's like to like physically feel the
Mm-hmm.
feelings in my body and feel the stress like on me, like whether it's like in me or on me, like I feel it on me. And so there's been
Mhm.
so many times where I feel stuck, like I don't, and whether it be like crazy thoughts that I have or I'm really stressed about work. I think let me run it back a little bit more. When they talk about the stress versus the stressor, they had an example in the book about a lion chasing you. And so the lion chasing you, um, lion's about to eat you, that is the stressor. The lion is the stressor. But your fear about the lion hating you or eating you, not hating you,
Mhm.
is the stress.
Stress.
And so I think a lot of times, there'll be situations like you're at work and the work is the stressor because this is like
Mm.
it's the stressor and it's causing you stress.
Yeah.
For me, I think it would be my situation. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily work for me. I do have a lot of different jobs or like things that I do that
Mhm.
do make me really busy that I think do cause a little bit of stress. But it's really like my thoughts. My thoughts will be the stressor causing me
Yeah.
stress. And it's a little bit harder to like remove yourself. Like I think when it comes to like a physical place or like a physical like object or not object, but a thing like a lion, that
You
is the
can say
stressor.
like, "Oh yeah,
Your
that's
job,
definitely it." Mhm.
that is a stressor. But I think when it's your thoughts, it can be a little bit harder to like separate like, okay, this
Mhm.
is not really a stressor anymore because this is also kind of a part of me. And so I think
That's
that's kind of
interesting.
my thoughts have been like a space that's been keeping me stuck or
Do you
consistently
think
exposing me to things that are like making me stressed.
is it potentially your thoughts or like unmet expectations?
I think it possibly could be both.
Mhm.
I think as a young person, you have all of these dreams, you have all of these thoughts, ambitions, ways that you want things to go. And sometimes if things are not working out the way that you want to,
Mhm.
or yeah, sometimes if things are not working out the way you want to, that can make you stressed. You're putting out all of this energy into something that's like not it's not like relieving the stress in any way. So
Okay. Could be both.
I think
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Hmm. Well, that's something
yeah,
to think about. But at the end of it, how do you get yourself through the cycle?
yeah. I think yeah, because there is a lot of fatigue that goes to that as well. Um, and when we talk about like when I think when I first thought about how to get through the cycle, I would think of like self-care practices, which are like
Yeah.
they're super cool, like, all of these things to like self-soothe. I can do a little face mask, I could do a little, a lot of like the things that you had brought up, like exercise and laughter. I would do all that stuff and I'd do it by myself
Mhm.
and but that wasn't really like sustainable.
Yeah.
Like it's just
It's a
that I
cycle.
guess gets me through the moment, but
Yeah.
that's not like really like addressing the situation. That's not encouraging. That's not doing anything to change my environment. Like it's like I literally like I'll walk outside every day and there's always a lion and I'm not really doing anything about the situation with the lion. I'm just
You're
hiding from the lion.
avoiding the
I'm not like
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe putting the lion like in a box, but the lion's still there. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Or
not even
yeah.
like I put myself in a box. I think a lot of times like with self-care, which is like another like reason why this podcast is like super eye-opening is that with self-care, like I'm not putting the lion in a box. I'm putting myself in a box. Like I'm not I'm not like creating or advocating for myself in a way that's going to change my environment.
Yeah.
I'm not like taking the opportunity to use some of these like really good like helpful um like ideas about exercise and laughter and affection and creative
Mhm.
expression and applying that to my community, applying that to like things that I can do. I think, one thing I really like with distant connections with what we're doing is that we're like giving people a space if they don't feel like they have that to creatively like, put their energy out into something. And I think I found that to be really helpful for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the outlet is important and it definitely helps you express good emotions. So maybe going through that cycle is to deal with the emotion at that moment. But once
Hmm.
we're out of that, I guess, tunnel and into, let's say, the light, in theory, is that you never know if there's going to be another tunnel coming along next.
Hmm.
So yeah, that I think that was first. The tunnel analogy will help you with your stressor, but then when that's not enough, is tackling, no, sorry, dealing with the stress. So your internal, but dealing with the stressor is up next. So once you have completed and are feeling good enough to tackle on the stressor, that is the big portion. That's the environment that you put yourself in, that box. Like for me, it's my environment is my workplace. And so I've kept myself in that box, but I know that I'm setting myself up to get out of this environment, to get out of my stressor giving me stress, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's the next step, is really figuring out how to handle the stressor. Yeah.
Yeah. That community portion for sure. And like that, or that environment portion
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
There was like something else sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that definitely the community portion is the biggest thing here, because self care can only give you so much. Taking care of yourself, it's also, you need to be able to have these kind of conversations and connect with others to get each other through whatever we need to get through, you know?
Yeah. And there's a really good quote that you pulled from the book, and it's wellness is not a state of mind, but a state of action. It's the freedom to move through the cycles of being human and ongoing, or in the ongoing exchange of support is essential. It's the flow of giving and receiving care. The cure for wellness is not self-care, but caring for one another. And so that was like super, super good. I'm curious to know, like, what are some ways that like you can care for others while still caring for yourself?
Definitely. Um, I think one is caring for others while caring for yourself is setting boundaries, and then also letting the community that I'm in know my boundaries. Like for instance, like when me and you and Joelle, we used to live together, and we were definitely very, very close, very tight. But I'm also an introvert, and I need sometimes time to myself. So being in that community, I love y'all so much, but sometimes, like at night, you guys really enjoyed having really in-depth conversations at nighttime, and at night I like to unwind and have some like me time. So that
Yeah.
is definitely how I take care of myself, and then also um, like keeping you guys in the loop with that. It's like you guys care enough for me not to be like, you're a loser, like whatever. Like no, she needs her time, like let her go into her room and just sleep it off. So that's kind of how I take care of myself. But at the same time, it's not just that. It's also knowing like what are like your kind of things. Like sometimes, Jazz, like you need your alone time, and it's maybe it's not at nighttime. Maybe it's like during the day, and like I know you really have like a lot going on. So I check in with you, and I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Do you need some tea or something like that? Just checking in. So it's kind of like a give and take.
Yeah.
How
That's
about
like that like communication. I'm yeah, I would literally echo the same. I think that communication aspect of checking in with people and letting people know what your needs are, what your boundaries are so, 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 so helpful. That's like something I think I realized this year that I need to work on. Those are one of those things that like someone told me and I was like, oh, they checked me because I need to be better about this. I need to be better about communicating my feelings and communicating like what I need.
And not
And
feeling like you feel bad about, you should never feel bad about that. Sorry, keep going. But
yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean,
Um,
sure, like you don't want to apologize for your feelings. Like your feelings are your feelings.
yeah.
But I think if you know that like you need time, like sometimes it might come off like I know for me, if I'm not getting the things that I need, I can be very irritable.
Hmm.
And I think, sometimes people know that. Like, kind of like, when we're women, we go through our women things, our like a menstrual cycle, and like we know if like we're feeling irritable at a time, it's because of like this. Like you can point to it, and it's not like you're mad at someone,
Hmm.
because I think a lot of times people can take it personally if you're like super harsh or you're super like mean with them, and you don't like communicate that like, oh, I'm not actually like irritated with you, I'm not mad with you, like I'm
Yeah,
mad because of things that are going on in my life and I just need some time.
exactly.
But that isn't like,
Hasn't been
that shouldn't,
communicated. Yeah.
yeah, it has to
That's
be communicated, because you want to maintain relationships without like making people feel bad about
mhm.
caring about you.
And the thing is I think we all need some schooling on that. Um, I think Maya had to head out. Bye, Maya. Thanks for being in community with us.
I know.
I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, Mia or Maya.
It's
Love
Mia.
you anyways. um, where was I? But yeah, for me, it's like I think I'm decently good with that sometimes. I can't say all the time because I know I'm not a good communicator at work because I don't know them on a personal level. So sometimes the things that I need, like if I'm in my office and I'm working on something and there's a tight deadline, that's a priority. And I need to also communicate that priority and not feel bad when I say, hey, no, I actually will get to your request in a minute, but let me finish this priority. And so it's really just navigating that and also communicating that, which I need to get better at as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But it's all a process.
yeah, definitely all a process. And that actually brings up the human giver syndrome, which was brought into the book. And in the studies shown, is actually really prevalent in women that feel the need that they have to be the givers in a relationship. So there's a human giver, and then there's the human being. I mean, we're obviously human beings, but in this kind of context, the human being is somebody that's okay to get the affection and receive more than actually give in a relationship. So a human giver is like, let's say, a mother who really wants to make sure that her daughter and son is doing well in school and her husband is getting a meal when he's get, coming home from work, or um, giving a lot to her coworkers, and just always being the one who's giving, and then feels bad when she has to take a moment for herself. um, so that's the human giver syndrome, and I feel like me and Jazz are both givers, and that's
Yeah.
why we inflict stress on ourselves, because we feel like we feel like taking a break is not acceptable, and so that's where we
Yeah,
feel the
and things
burn.
are gonna like go missing or something. Like that things will happen if like we, God forbid, take a break.
Yeah, but lately I feel like I enjoy my breaks. Maybe not during work, but like my weekends are my weekends, and that is a time where I really like do anything that I need to do. Clean, make a good meal for myself, like really nourish myself. Because if I'm not
Yeah.
nourished, it's like I'm not going to be productive for anybody. So,
Yeah.
and it's okay to be the giver. Like it's good to be the giver, um, but also feel like that it's okay to receive as well. Receive love,
It is,
receive stuff.
for sure. And there was like a specific aspect too to the human giver that they can't just be. Like they can't just they their life their life's purpose literally is to give.
Mhm.
And I think, as human beings, as like people, I definitely think that, part of our purpose on the earth is to be kind with one another, but it is also okay to like just be,
Mhm.
to just be as you are, to if you're not, feeling like giving, like you said, it's okay to receive.
Mhm.
And I think, constantly living in a state that is like all you are is to be pretty, to be quiet, to be like giving, like
Mhm.
that is going to lead to exhaustion. That's not sustainable. That's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable relationship. It's not going to last. That's literally going
Not
to
realistic.
that's going to make you
Yeah.
be stuck.
You can get ulcers that way. There's like so many things in showing that stress in your body, like you can feel stress in your body. Like Jazz and me, both anxiety, people who have anxiety will feel that personal, like you feel the stress and you know like you're stuck in that tunnel. And so like
Yeah.
when you're like that, where am I going with this? But basically, like, like when you're stuck like that, it's hard to be it productive for anyone.
Yeah, and it's
So
not healthy, like you said, like you can die, you can get
yeah,
sick. Like
you can
that's
end up
not
in the
good for
hospital.
your health.
Yeah, but at the same time, they did mention Emily and Amelia, um, that did the research on this. They said, okay, but well, what if everybody were just human beings? Then we're all good. What if that were the case? But we really need both in a relationship, one who's willing to
You.
give and one who's willing to receive. But at the same time, the human beings need to learn a little bit, beings in a sense of they enjoy receiving more, need to learn how to give more, so that
Yeah.
there's a mutual giving, so the
So
giver
that it's
doesn't
more of an exchange rather than
take
just,
and give.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So I feel like everyone needs to be human givers, but with a sense of knowing how to get through your stress cycle. So that was that's a life-changing book really, because not knowing how to deal with stress can really lead to so many health complications. And the fact that this is not talked about in families, like, are we not setting up our children for success or what? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I just think of like all of the things that can cause people stress in life, like even like as we were talking about this upcoming week and the stress that's about to come from that. Like there's so many different facets of our life that could possibly bring us stress, and how this must be like compounded generationally
Mm-hmm.
because we're not learning how to deal with stress. So this stress is like being locked inside of us, and we're continuing to pass this down to our families or to our children, to the next generations. And it's like there's so many there's so much value in really like, in breaking those generational curses and
Yeah.
understanding that like my emotions are a cycle. They're not meant to just sit inside of me. They're meant to
Mm-hmm.
flow through me. And this is something that not only I need to learn to teach myself, but I need to learn to teach my family.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
I mean, the
tough.
book is called Burnout. I just saw your question. The book is called Burnout by Emily and Amelia Nagowski. Um, the keys to unlocking the stress release recycle,
Mm-hmm.
not recycle.
Cycle.
The keys to unlocking the stress release cycle.
Yeah.
But it's so important. It's so important. Like
Yeah.
preaching,
Preaching
so
to the
important.
choir. Yeah, we're obviously big advocates of this book, and not only like for ourselves, it's for the community that we're making here. So the ideas here that we wanted to share is for you to use it on your own, and also dig deeper, look into the book. Maybe there's a audio version that I actually listened to earlier, so check it out. I think it'll be very helpful for you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And I just wanted to echo again like the couple of different ways that like we can use again to just complete the cycle with ourselves and with our families, with our communities, so that we can continue to build that accountability, like that relationship, that like sustainable, healthy relationship. Um, Sarah had mentioned these earlier, but exercising is like literally like a beautiful way, whether that be dancing or you're going for a run or doing squats. Like get some exercise in on a daily basis. Like it is literally good for your health and it's great for
Great
releasing
for
the
stress.
stress out of your body.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think as you were speaking, I remembered something. Um, so the idea of like the community wellness, but something that somebody that I follow, her name is Francesca, but she always talks about ecosystems. And so, like, an ecosystem means like the people who you cultivate in your life and purposely, intentionally have to like lifetime friends or family, people who you keep in your ecosystem affect your mood or affect the outcomes of some sorts of situations that you're a part of. So it's always important to keep in mind who you keep in to your circle because those could actually be potential stressors. So keep that mindful. And I know that it's not always, you know, like you can't always just kick out your mom and dad. So in a way, it's like start off with the things that you can control, like your stress, and
Yeah.
then work on not letting the stressors affect you.
Yeah. And
Like
setting those
ecosystem.
boundaries too, as best as you can. Like there's so many good resources that I've heard from different therapists on Instagram that specifically work up, or they're like their specific work is aligned towards creating boundaries, especially within your families, especially when you're young. And boundaries is not necessarily like something
Yeah,
a lot of like cultures respect because they're
that's
like
right. Boundaries
boundaries for
aware.
what? Boundaries
Like,
for
did I
what?
have boundaries when I was giving birth to you? No.
Yeah.
But it's if it's that important to you to have a healthy mindset, it's important to let those people in your ecosystem know. And like I said, I'm an introvert. I need some time to myself and I communicate that. And that way
Yeah.
it doesn't offend people when it's time for me to dip out the party really early because they know I need time to wind down. And so it's just that. It's small things that will make your life and those in your circle better.
For sure. For sure. Just wanted to also like we had talked about exercise too. Laughter is another really good way to like, and that could be, you watching a funny show or you saw something funny on the internet or you're with your friends, your family. Find a way to like laugh. Like laughter is so like it's another like just amazing way to like get the stress out of you to like really like boost the endorphins
Yeah,
that are like in your brain. Like laughter is so good. It's so important.
definitely. I know like
Yeah.
in September when we all got together with the girls, with our friends, we laughed so much. And I know the weeks
We
following
did.
up to that, like, was so stressful. But after, like, just having so much fun laughing and joking and, like, enjoying life, I came back to work just, like, ready to go because, like, okay, like, I finally got to release all the stressful emotions by having a good time. And so I came
Yeah.
back to my real self and was like, all right, let's get back to work. So,
And it's amazing to like step into that like literally once you've gone through the tunnel and it's not dark, it's not hazy anymore, like you're getting that like fresh air, you're getting that light again. Like it's
yeah.
you feel like you don't feel so like exhausted. Like you're gonna
Yeah.
feel great and it's a great feeling.
Yeah. Because
Yeah. Affection, go ahead.
we come to like conclusions a lot. So a lot of the times when we are stressed about things, it's like us coming to a conclusion of a certain thing, like,
Mm,
oh, I need to work on this thing. So we're focused on this thing and not realizing of all the external situations happening around you. And I'm thinking and I'm always thinking in terms of like just ways, because as I mentioned before, that was my stressor. But like realizing that you're putting so much focus on this and then you're coming to the conclusion, this is not working out. It's because I did something wrong, whatever. But I took that break. I hung out with some friends. I came back, and then I realized, hey, like, you know what? I think I was kind of just not communicating and put myself in a situation in that box. So I didn't get to go through that release cycle until waiting 2 weeks later to have some fun and then come back and be my normal self. Like, it shouldn't get to that point. I wish I read that book earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
but you're so right. Like, it's like, and this is also something that I talk about with my therapist, but like finding and creating systems in place when like you don't feel like you're going through the tunnel, like finding like systems or finding like ways to like, how am I going to deal with this? What exercises do I need to do to like feel better? What resources can I like look towards that I know are going to make me laugh? Like what person can I like, count on for like some affection? Like maybe I just need a hug. Like, do I have a friend that's like going to be able to like just come over, give me a hug, or like I need a good cry. Like you need to create those systems in place before it gets like too bad.
Definitely.
Yeah. And the last one was like creative expression too, like finding ways to use your talents, use your gifts, and like
share it to the world.
Yeah.
Something that I just realized, my cousin Awit is here, and Instagram needs to make this space a little bit more accessible, because right now we're speaking without any subtitles, and Awit is actually deaf. So this is things that we should actually keep in mind when we're posting things, is to have subtitles.
Like closed captions for sure.
So I'm going to try my best to sign the book that we are reading. So B, okay, U, R, what is N? Ow. What is T? T? Burnout? I hope he sees that. Burnout is the book.
We should definitely list it like both the podcast. I wish I learned I knew how to sign, but we should definitely list the podcast and the book in the comments when we repost this.
Yes. I'm glad you joined though. Awesome.
It's so awesome. But yeah, that is like, that's a whole another thing about accessibility and the issues that are going on within technology and how we can make things better.
Yeah. He's read the book. Burnout Society, check the book out.
Oh wait, I think that's a different book. He said by
no. Unlocking the Stress Cycle.
Korean philosopher. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's probably a lot of books on it, because it's like, no doubt, no joke, like this is like a real thing. Like there's some real science behind burnout. And so I'm pretty sure many people are talking about it.
And definitely, I think that's something we should mention, is that the book is based on science and research. And I know a lot of self-help and like self-care kind of books discusses things in a sense of like spirituality, which is great, and we're spiritual beings, but we also need to look at the facts, and they give us the real facts. So if you're looking for the truth, they lay it all out based on experiments and such. So
it's so good.
But
thanks so much for putting me onto this podcast, friend. Like the book was like also amazing, but I love anything Amelia and Emily do.
Definitely. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, that was fun to unpack that today. Um, I guess one thing for everyone to look out for is we will post the um, recap of this. So if you guys just joined, I saw a few people joined here. We will be posting it on our Instagram, the recording. So
Oh
just
yeah.
look out for that, catch up with it because it was a great discussion about stress and stress release and getting through your stress cycle. So if you don't know what
Mm-hmm.
that is, definitely catch up later. We appreciate everybody who joined. So thank you. Uh,
Thanks,
Good
Brad.
afternoon, good night, good morning to everybody that joined from all around the world. So love y'all.
Yeah, and we hope you're really able to like take these gems and like apply these to your communities, to your environment, so that like it's not just a selfish thing, it's not just self-care. This is community
Community
care. This is
care.
community wellness. Like we want to make sure that like the next generation, like I mean we are the next generation, but that the next generation is like they have the resources and the tools they
Yes,
need to be well.
definitely. Super important stuff. Thanks
So
for
good.
unpacking with me, Jazz.
Yes,
Adios.
thanks, friend. Another update, last thing is we have another collaboration this week. This
Mm-hmm.
will be week 5 of collaborations for, so check out the promo for tomorrow. And we also have a workshop coming up this week.
Definitely.
We do. So
Check
collaborations, workshops,
in and
all the
put your
things.
post notifications on so you won't miss a post and you'll know when all
Yes.
things come up. So, yeah, fam.
And as always, we're here every Sunday, 4 p.m., unpacking all the goods.
Yeah,
We'll check in with you guys to see what we'll be unpacking next week. But it's always good, and we appreciate you
yeah,
guys for joining us.
yes. I always feel so great afterwards. Feel like I'm ready for a week after this. Gives me
This is
all
our
the.
therapy session.
This really is our therapy session, live and with everybody else.
Yeah, all the goods. But love you all.
Have a good
Until the next time.
day. Bye.